And let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got a 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again, it's MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. We are glad you joined us talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we cannot wait to have the next 30 minutes together just chit-chatting about what's going on in the world of sprint car racing. Paul McMahon going to join us. Need to find out what's going on with our friend Paul and Carson Macedo after winning that big Canadian Sprint Car Nationals up at Oshweekend Speedway. Picked up the win. He'll join us later on the program as well. Erin Evernham alongside of Steve Post here. And how are you? How's things going?
Good. Very good. Yourself?
Oh, you know I'm fantastic.
It's your favorite time of the week.
Favorite time of the week. And Thursday, getting in the car and headed to Posse Land. Exactly.
Yeah,
Going to do Susquehanna on Thursday night. Going to do Williams Grove on Saturday. And then that Dirt Classic. Man, that is just going to be.
You're going to rub it in.
I am going to rub it in. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to see all of our friends. I'm going to maybe even have a frosty cold beverage
with
along
the beer
way.
Me love beer.
Exactly. It is going to be fun. It all kind of centers around the Dirt Classic, which is the $20,000 to win race. And it sounds like from social media, I'm not going to be alone going to Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
And if Port Royal a couple weeks ago and Selinsgrove to a degree last week are any indication, a lot of attention focused in the state of Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. McCarl, I saw on social media. Yep.
T-Mac, I see Kerry Madsen's headed that way. Tim Kading is headed that way. So
Midwest
I think
cars.
we're getting there. Yeah, I think we're getting there. And that guy Brownie is there too.
Yeah, he's won a few races recently.
Exactly, which takes us right. Oh, this is a great radio transition here to the Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery. Hot Topics. He buys his shirts from Classic Ink. How about that for Brownie?
Gosh.
That's who he uses. And I put something on Twitter yesterday, I think it was. I hope Brownie is selling T-shirts because he needs space in the truck to haul trophies back to the Midwest.
Yeah, trophies and some cash.
How about that?
That's awesome. I'm really happy for Brian. I mean, I felt like he was so excited to go to Pennsylvania and knew how difficult the competition was, but to come out there and win, and then he went and raced with the All-Stars and won again.
I know. How about that? He finished second in the Tuscarora 50.
Yep.
Missed it by that much.
Little bit.
The problem of it is that much with that 69K car is a half a track. You know what I mean? But yeah, kudos to Brian Brown. You know, if you're going to make the trip all the way across the country, you might just well win some races.
Yeah.
And picked up the win in the Jim Nace Memorial. What I thought was really, really cool, and we had Brian on a few weeks ago, and he talked about he was going to kind of be based on Charlie Garrett's shop there in Hanover. And I was not aware of this, but Brownie posted a picture. It was the Jim Nace Memorial, and Charlie Garrett had built engines for Jim Nace.
I read the same thing. I thought that was really neat.
I think the connections in our sport, the personal connections in our sport is really cool. And I know Brownie's the same way. And that had to just be so good for Brian to have Charlie win that race. And they're with him as well.
That's awesome.
Great stuff. So Brian Brown, one of the hot drivers on the Hot Topics. How about the North Pole Nightmare?
I knew you were going to be excited to say that.
Oh, I love that guy. Baylog. Now, he won. Ashley was there.
Yeah.
He won at Route 66 on Wednesday night of last week. That was win number 100. Wow. And then he backed it up. He didn't sit on 100 for quite too long. 2 days, he went to Clay County and won, number 101. And, you know, if you're going to win your first career 410 race, you might just as well do it at the Grove.
At one of the most famous tracks and most difficult tracks.
Exactly. How about youngster, teenager Matt Campbell, career first 410 win at Williams Grove? How about that?
That's impressive.
That is really, really cool. So good stuff. Other hot topics, Carson Macedo, he's going to join us a little bit later on the program. And there you have it. Our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery, hot topics, T-shirts, hats, towels, hoodies, whatever you need, they have it. Do what Brian Brown does. Get your stuff at www.classicinkusa.com. Let's step away. Paul McMahon, he joins us next.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice. Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
Today Toyota's featured NASCAR fan is Dr. Tom Pierce.
So, Dr. Tom, what's your claim to fame?
Well, due to all of Toyota's NASCAR wins last year, I wrote thousands of doctor's notes for fans for overexcitement hypertension, a condition that requires a day off work to rest.
Sounds like a responsible doctor.
Doctor? I'm not a real doctor, bro. Would a doctor get a guy off work for overexcitement about the new Camry? Because I did.
Let's go NASCAR fans.
Toyota, let's go places. To learn more, visit toyotaracing.com. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
O'Reilly. When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Find Wing Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. We are glad you joined us. Joining us now via the hotline from somewhere between here or there, or maybe he's there in Nashville, Tennessee. Paul McMahon's on the line. Hello, Paul. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hi, guys. How are you today?
We are doing all right. Paul, big announcement this week, stepping out of the driver's seat for Destiny Motorsports, going to stay in the GM seat and want to continue racing in some way or another. How are you doing after your big announcement over the weekend?
I mean, it's going to take time to get used to it. It's, growing up since, I was a young kid, that's all I ever wanted to do was race with World of Outlaws, and to step aside and not be a full-time outlaw, it was emotional Saturday night, but it's something that every day will get easier, and it'll be hard this weekend when I go to the first race and be a spectator or be a guy that there for the race team and not in the driver's seat. So and not being injured. I've had to watch my race car before, but I've been injured. And this way, to be physically able to drive a race car and to have to watch is going to be a little tough on me.
Paul, as a driver who's been, like you said, doing this for so long, how difficult is it to come to this decision? And how long have you been thinking about it? Is this something that you started thinking about maybe a year ago, or when did you make the final decision?
Well, when I first started driving for Rick and Barb at Destiny Motorsports, this was something we discussed. They said I can race as long as I want, and then when I thought it was time to step aside, they would let me take over the role of running the race team day in and day out, and it was something that's been in my mind. It came a little faster than what I really anticipated or really wanted, but I just think it was after the last. Since 2015, it wasn't much fun. 16 wasn't much fun, and it's just, when you're struggling, it's easier to step away. It's something that I really talked long and hard with my wife about, and try to make the best decision for our family. And it all happened really fast. It was something I've been thinking about for a while.
Paul, the general manager role, and a conversation that I find this interesting is you and we spent a little time at PRI last year, and you were in that general manager hat. I think we're in Hefner's booth, and you were talking about you need to get a mule, you need to get this, you need to get that. Do you enjoy that role? Do you enjoy the management end of the team? Has that been something that you have enjoyed over the course of this year?
Yeah, it's something I've really enjoyed. To have more hands-on, to be able to be the guy that makes sure everything is going the way it needs to go. It's a lot of work. People think you're just you just call up and you order parts and you do this. Well, there's a lot more to it than just ordering parts and getting hotels. It's making sure everybody's taken care of. It's making sure that plane flights are made and the truck and trailers taken care of, and race cars and motors, and from the decal guy to the painter to to just to everything. It's a lot of work, and it's something I've enjoyed, and it's something I'll probably enjoy a little bit more now that I'm not having to drive also, because there was a lot of things going on trying to drive and make sure you got everything stocked up in the trailer, and my guys help me a lot. They also do a lot to tell me when we need something and what we need, and it's something I really enjoy and something I really look forward to in the future.
Paul, I follow you and all your family on social media, and I've read some wonderful comments and notes that fans and fellow drivers and other families have left you. How much has it meant to you to see some of those notes people have left for you?
Oh, that means the world to me. Your whole life racing, all you want is the respect of your competitors and the respect of fans and everything. And I think I've earned that. I got that from everybody. It was kind of cool the other night at Calistoga. That was kind of home for me, and to be standing in the pit area and people just, I had one guy standing next to me said, "I don't want to leave you."
Oh.
He didn't want to leave my side. I'm like looking at him like, man, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm nobody famous. I'm just a guy that got to do what I love to do forever, and these fans appreciated me that much to want to just spend the last, whatever with me before I loaded up and went home. It was kind of cool.
Really, really neat. That's a fascinating and interesting story. Paul, one of the things that I've just truly loved about getting to know you is your friendship with Joey Saldana. And obviously, Joey's been through a career change over the course of this year. Maybe not as, it just happened differently than yours did along the way. As you see Joey surviving, and as you see him actually picking up wins and getting the Indy Parts right along the way, as you see Joey, have you talked to him? Has that altered your timeline and your decision at all?
It's made me think a lot more this year when we've talked and, we hung out when he was going through everything he was going through. We talked a lot. I mean, every night when we was in Williams Grove, and I think it was in May or whatever it was, we'd get back to the hotel and the guys would be at the car wash, and we'd just sit out and talk about things. And, it's the first time me and Joey really had like heart to hearts. We talk racing, we talk family, we have good times, but it really got me thinking when he finally, when what happened to him and made him go home and be with his family and everything else really that's really when I started thinking more and more about it. I mean, my kids are older, his kids are young, so it was a perfect opportunity for him. But yeah, talking to Joey really got my brain going, and we joke now, that boy, it's going to be a lot of family vacations with the Saldanas without racing this time.
That's
Indeed,
awesome.
yeah.
Paul, you in Destiny Motorsports have chosen Parker Price Miller to fill your seat, and I know that you've always spoken very highly of him. Was that did it make your decision any easier knowing that you could give someone like Parker an opportunity?
No.
Fair enough.
But I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. I mean, that was the plan when like I said, when me and Rick first started this, and when Parker subbed for me last year when I got hurt. I've watched the kid for the last few years and really been impressed with what he does with the race car and just the type of person he is. And he's very marketable. He's very good with the fans. So it was one of them deals where I just watched, and I remember being the young kid that all I wanted to do was race. And, I kind of feel like I was like, I'm hoping the Jeff Gordon and the Jimmy Johnson thing works out. Take Jeff found Jimmy. Hopefully I found Parker and gave him his opportunity, and he goes on to do great things.
Really, really neat. That's for sure. Final question. One of the things that you did state in the release and was stated in the release is that you certainly want to race a little bit more. Has anything kind of popped up on the radar screen? Maybe you can tell us, maybe you can't tell us what's going on, but does it look like some opportunities may present themselves for you to put the helmet back on and do a little bit of racing as you move forward?
Yeah, there's some things I'm going to do. There's a few races I want to do this year that I want to run short track nationals. I want to run Trophy Cup, and I want to run World Finals. And as long as I gotta make sure that my bosses, since now I actually have a job that requires me to report to somebody and have to do things. As long as they let me have the time off to go down, I think I got them 3 races already sorted out. So looking forward to doing some of those and this year and finish out this year. And then I already might have some things working to go do some more racing with a few other friends of mine throughout the year, throughout the next several years to keep me racing until I just actually want to hang the helmet up and sit at home.
Paul McMahon fans across America are happy right now because they know there's a couple opportunities this year and maybe some down the road to get to watch you wheel the car around the racetrack. Paul, as always, a pleasure to chat with you. Thanks for the time, and best of fortune this weekend as the GM for that team as you go race at Eldora and Lernerville. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on the show, and just want to thank all my fans that support me out throughout the years, and look forward to the future.
Next chapter is going to be great, that's for sure. Paul McMahon joining us here on the program. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. I'm excited. He's coming to World Finals.
Yes.
I'll get to see him again.
Yeah,
Race,
I like how he gave us some specific dates. That was good.
Exactly. So get those tickets for Trophy Cup, for Short Track Nationals, and for the World Finals because Paul McMahon's going to be there going for Victory Lane. Let's step away. Speaking of Victory Lane, Carson Macedo spent a little time there on Saturday night in Canada. We'll talk to him next.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken a checkered flag on Weld racing wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld racing wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld racing wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery is constantly testing the limits of custom racewear and specialized embroidery. Headquartered in Western Pennsylvania, Classic Ink holds the highest standard, maximizing your return as well as the ultimate customer satisfaction. From track swag fanwear to quick crew wear, Classic Ink has you covered. Their dedicated staff and designers will keep your race team and fans looking sharp. Contact Classic Ink today and get your team ahead of the competition. www.classicinkusa.com. That's Classic Ink, at the track and on your back.
It's O'Reilly's Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop in today and check out store-wide savings, plus earn double points on over 250 items. It's our way of saying thank you. If you're not already a member, sign up today during O'Rewards Member Appreciation Month. It's fast, easy, and free. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Tony Stewart. You're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Let's go right back to the hotline. Joining us fresh off from a trip to Victory Lane Saturday night at Ashwegan Speedway in the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Drives that 3G Garrity racing car. Carson Macedo joins us. Hello, Carson. How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're doing well. Congratulations. Tell us about that win on Saturday night.
It was really good. The Canadian Nationals is a big race for these guys, especially for, Joe Gertie and Tim Norman. So for us to go up there and do well like that, I think everyone was really thrilled. And obviously, a big race and, obviously good competition and all that stuff, it makes it sweet to win. So we battled most of the race with Sam Haferty. He's done really well, especially the 360 side of racing this year with, the ASCS National Tour and everything. So to battle with him and then come out with a win, it was pretty awesome. I think I ran second to him most of the race until about 10 to go, and just made some good moves in traffic. Luckily our car was really, really good, and the guys did an awesome job. And, we were the first one to cross the stripe, so pretty awesome, and just a great weekend, really.
Carson, I don't know if I was looking in all the wrong places, but I couldn't find much about the race other than a lot of fans that were there, and even some competitors wrote how it was some of the best racing they'd seen all year. Tell us how the track was. Was it racy top to bottom? Tell us a little bit more about the race itself.
Yeah, so Oswego Speedway is, I think, one of the best tracks in the world. I every single time I watch a race there, whether it's World of Outlaw highlights or past Canadian Nationals highlights, it's just the track's always really slick from top to bottom. It seems like, usually there's a little bit of a top, and it's not really like what we'd call like a ledge or a cushion. It's more just moisture on the edge of the racetrack. It only has fences on the front stretch and the back stretch, so eventually that moisture will push up over the edge, but it never seems to. It kind of just holds right on the edge there, and it makes it really wide and really racy. So you could really just creep right around the bottom, and you'd really have to get out of the gas and make sure you kept the tires underneath you. But you could get around the bottom if you were really patient, or obviously sell it around the top and keep momentum up. So we got, they started 30 cars in that race they do every year. So me and Sam got to traffic fairly early and really had to move around. And I think that was the key to the race, just being able to go anywhere. But the Friday night races were awesome too. They did twin features, so it's basically like a prelim night to get ready for the Nationals. And they actually start 30 cars, but they split the field up into two features. And basically how it works is it's two 15-lap features, and out of the 30, 15 cars start. And I think that was just a show that showed that the next night was going to be, some awesome racing. I think Sam ended up winning the first feature, and we started 12th and won the second one, and just a lot of racing, a lot of passes. I mean, you just see there's just cars all over the racetrack, I mean, there were times where we were 3 or 4 wide. I think Oswego doesn't get quite the credit that it deserves sometimes. It's all up there in Canada, and sadly, like you were just saying, it's hard to sometimes get results and all that stuff just because, you kind of have to look in the right spots. But, man, what an awesome racetrack. They do a really, really good job repairing it. It's always smooth and slick, and it reminds me a lot of Ohio tracks, to be honest. It's kind of a smaller place, and it definitely puts on some good racing.
Good racing indeed, that's for sure. I had the chance to get up there one time, and I was just so impressed with everything they have there, the whole facility, everything else. Carson, about 2 years ago, I was at PRI and was watching an indoor race up there. Sat down with Jason Myers, and he was just raving about you. And we've seen you move to Indiana, do a little work with Keith Coons. You're driving the Garrity car. You're doing everything. You're going. I say all that. My question is, where are you at? Where are you going? How is this career path from California to the Midwest to the Canadian Nationals? How are things going, and what lies ahead for you as far as that career path you're working on?
Yeah, so, I mean, eventually, my goal is to run with the World of Outlaws. It's always been a dream of mine as, growing up as a little kid. And Jason's been a really big mentor to me and helped me a lot along the way. He took me to PRI and that year and introduced me to a lot of people. And, I talk to him pretty frequently. I call him on the phone, obviously, now because I don't get to see him as much as I did when I was at home. But, that's where I aspire to be someday. And luckily, with his help and a few others, I've been able to be in really good positions, especially now today where the equipment's really equal and, it's so competitive. You really have to, the main thing I think that you can separate yourself is just surrounding yourself with good people. And, when I first came back to the Midwest and I was driving for Keith and Pete Willoughby, Jason set me up with Craig Mintz and Les Mintz, and I got to drive the 09 car in Ohio a little bit last year, and then from that I met the Joe Gertie and Tim Norman, and really we without me having a full-time ride this year, we put a deal together, and it's about a 40 race schedule, but we've been having a lot of fun, and I learned a lot from these guys. It's just their level of intelligence. Joe ran the Outlaws for a while and picked up some wins, and Tim raced himself too, so he had a lot of success in Michigan, and I think that's what it takes. They know how it is, they know what it takes to win, and they also know that the main thing is too, they know that you're going to have bad nights, things are going to happen, they're racers themselves, so it's been great, and just more than anything, learning, every time we go to the racetrack, that's the most important thing, I think. Especially if you want to take that next step.
Indeed, it is. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Real quick, we're right up against the break, though, but balance of the season. What do you have coming up between now and the end of the year?
Just some big. I'll touch on the key events. I think we're going to go to Eldora on the 14th of October. We're going to do Trophy Cup. I'm going to do Trophy Cup actually for Tarleton Racing back home. We're going to do the World Finals in the 3G car. We're just going to try to hit every race we can from here on out. This weekend we're going to go to Wisconsin and Illinois. We're kind of finishing up. We're a motor so that we can race Saturday, Sunday. Because Friday we don't think it'll be done quite by Friday. So we're just going to try to hit everything we can and go from there. But hopefully the season just finishes out successfully.
Indeed. Let's hope it does. Carson, congratulations on the win up in Canada. Thanks again for your time. Always a pleasure to chat with you.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
There we go. Carson Macedo, young talent.
Yes.
We're in good shape. The youngsters like him wheeling cars around the racetrack. Let's step away. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Only the best go 3 abreast, and they're coming to a track near you in 2017. No matter where you're at, the American Sprint Car Series is near you. From the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, presented by the MAV Motorsports Network, to any of the 7 ASCS Regional Tours, there's over 150 nights of racing to choose from in 2017. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates. Listen live on RacingBoys.com and get the full rundown at ASCSRacing.com.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum's newest feature exhibit is our Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell, June 9th through October 15th, at the only museum in the world solely dedicated to sprint car racing, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Stop in and check out 8 of Sammy's original race cars and see his trophies, uniforms, and more as you learn about his outstanding career. The Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell is only this season at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
Today Toyota's featured NASCAR fan is Dr. Tom Pierce.
So, Dr. Tom, what's your claim to fame?
Well, due to all of Toyota's NASCAR wins last year, I wrote thousands of doctor's notes for fans for overexcitement hypertension, a condition that requires a day off work to rest.
Sounds like a responsible doctor.
Doctor? I'm not a real doctor, bro. Would a doctor get a guy off work for overexcitement about the new Camry? Because I did.
Let's go NASCAR fans!
Toyota, let's go places. To learn more, visit toyotaracing.com. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
Hi, I'm Rico Aber, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Time to take a look at our National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum birthday calendar. Kind of a quiet week. Yeah. Wednesday, tomorrow, Corey Kruisman. Thursday, Bob Estes. Don Edmonds and Charlie Davis Jr. have birthdays later in the week. Thursdays would have been Bob Estes' birthday. He was a 2001 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Born in Los Angeles, after WW2 got into the car dealership business, he loved fast cars. So he took Mercury engines, took them to Indianapolis, tried to race against the Auffies. Wow. Didn't have so much success early on, but he ultimately was a team owner, fielding cars in IndyCar, USAC, Pikes Peak, Mexican road races, and a whole lot more. Stopped fielding cars in 1960, remained very active in the sport as a car dealer owner in Los Angeles, and just a great, great guy. A 1950 picture of Clark Gable in his car is out there. I saw that. It's a picture of Clark Gable in his car. Clark was at Indy filming a movie, and they got a picture of Clark Gable in the car. So nice, Bob Estes, another one of the great stories contained at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, turn number 2 in Knoxville, Iowa, sprintcarhof.com. Big week coming up here on Wing Nation. Brian Monteith going to join us on Thursday. And Erin, I am telling you, we've already recorded Saturday's show for MAV TV. Cruz Pedregon, the two-time funny car racer, in studio.
Full of personality.
Oh, my gosh, folks. Saturday morning, 8:30 and 11:30 Eastern Time, MAV TV. This is must-see. I know someone else used to say must-see TV. This is must-see TV with the Cruiser in the house. Cruz Pedregon coming up. And, of course, Ashley and I, we're going racing, so 2 of us are going to be bothering you.
Rub it in, rub it in.
That's right. Kosuski, Williams Grove, and the fabulous Lincoln Speedway.
That's
nice.
My
gosh, going to be great. Hey, great hearing from Paul at one step in his career and Carson on the other step in his career. Yep. So great stuff. More important than all of that, thank you for joining us here today.
You've been listening to Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tire. Ride on our strength. You can also find Winged Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.